Hello, this is Anthony. Let's walk and talk. So today we're going to talk about lack. You see, lack doesn't actually exist. Lack is an illusion. It's one of the many illusions here in life. But others use that illusion of lack in order to connect to your lower vibrating energy. It hits your ego and it triggers an ego response. And that ego response is fear. And the reason this is important to understand is because when such things as corporations or governments can trigger your fear response, it's very easy to control and manipulate you. It is also easy to get one to act outside of how they might normally act if they feel like they are in a position where where there's going to be a cost, where they're going to lose something, where they're not going to have something. You've heard FOMO, that fear of missing out, or that fear of resources such as water or food. All of these things can be manipulated because of the illusion of lack. And when you begin to understand this, you begin to understand that something that corporations have long known, which is by projecting the illusion of lack, they can manipulate your buying experiences. They can manipulate your income. They can manipulate your usage, movement, all things. They can control everything that that you do or interact with by projecting this illusion of lack. Now, how does this happen? Well, easy, especially even more easy now in the days of e-commerce. Why? Because I'm sure many of you have gone on to a website to purchase something, and when you hit that site to purchase something, a product, maybe a seat on an airline, you saw, like, down on near the product, 4 products left. And the purpose of that 4 products left is to trigger your fear response to say, oh, if I don't purchase this now, I might not have the opportunity to purchase this. Now, are there really only 4 products left or only 4 seats left? Probably not. But see, we'll use airlines as a perfect example. They'll say there's only 3 seats left. But what they've actually said is, well, it's not that there's 3 seats left. There are 3 seats left at that price. But if you want to pay a higher price, we can still get you a seat. But they don't talk about all of the other same routes they go, different times they go, different days they go, where you could still get that same seat for that same price. No, they give you the illusion that if this is the one you want, this is what it's going to be, you should buy it now. You see, and even on some of the websites you've seen, like, they've got the little meter that says, this is the best time to make the purchase. If you purchase it now, you'll get the best price. But if you wait another 2 days, the price will go up. You see, again, so it gets you to make a purchase, even though I've looked at these sites and there have been times where I looked a week later and the price went up by $5. But by waiting the week, I got to know whether it was the right flight for me, whether the itinerary fit what I needed to do. But you see, if I fell into the fear response, into the lack response, I would have made the initial purchase. And then, as in many times, I bought something that wasn't right for me. You see, and the way that they shield themselves from this is they offer you things like insurance. Insurance is a beautiful thing, right? If you buy this insurance and your plans change, we'll refund your money. So essentially, it's buy it now, it's the best price. Pay extra for the insurance. And then if something happens and you can't get the ticket, then we'll either refund your money or get you a different flight. See, again, it all hits on the fear response. But all it does is actually put money in others' pockets. And it's important to understand this because it's in everything around us, you see. If you believe that there's lack in all things, well then price can be manipulated in all things and you won't question it. The prices will go up in all things and you won't question it. Your fear will say things like when they say, well, there's not enough water, so we have to raise the price of water and you need to lower your consumption of water or we're going to have to charge you more money. You know, I've seldom have I ever been in a position, and I've lived in a lot of places during droughts, where when I went to turn on the faucet, water didn't come out. And there was never a time when I turned the faucet on that water didn't come out. Now, I'm sure some are going to push back on that, or they're going to say, well, it costs more. But let's be fair here. If there was a lack of water, wouldn't water eventually not come out if we didn't have water? Or they say raising the price, it's, you know, raising the price, you're going to pay more for the water because there's a lack of it. But how do you know? You're just trusting that they say there's not enough water. You see, we can go back to, you know, I was around even in the 70s when we were told there's only maybe 20 or 30 more years of oil. And so they raised the price of gas, and there would be lines, and they would create the illusion that we were running out of fuel. Even so much so that they would creating and producing vehicles that would get a lot more mileage to the gallon, even matching some of the quote-unquote hybrid cars today. There were cars in the 70s that would get 45, 50 miles to the gallon. Regular combustion engines, no special technology. Yet because they created the illusion of lack, what happened? We were paying higher prices for gasoline. We were told that there wasn't enough. We were told that the oil supply would run out. But here we are still, 40 years later, existing in a world where there is no shortage of fossil fuels. There is no shortage of vehicles. And all the new technology doesn't even get better gas mileage now than it did then. You see, it's just a good example of how that projection of lack triggered fear and triggered people to start to do things that were not natural, buy into the narrative, become more easily controlled and manipulated. You see, when you understand this, you understand that governments, corporations, they don't want to deal with people who are free. They want to deal with people that they can control. Because when they can control people, then they can predict outcomes easier. They can manipulate markets easier. They can manipulate the population easier. And this is an important thing to understand. Because, see, at some point, we have to start to understand that if we don't overcome this fear, if we don't overcome this illusion of lack, we're going to forever trap ourselves in systems that aren't here to benefit us. They benefit a few, but they take from the many. And this is important to understand because you have to decide, where do you choose to find yourself in that system? Do you choose to find yourself in the system where you are the one who is always chasing, always lacking, always afraid you're not going to have enough? Or do you choose to be in the system where you understand it completely differently? You understand that the spiritual journey, which is the journey, the inward, that you are whole and complete as a person, changes and reflects the journey outward. That lack does not exist. And when you get to that point, it becomes much more difficult to control you, much more difficult to manipulate you, because you start to learn and understand how these systems work and how they're created and why they're created, and you understand what you need to do in order to not fall within the parameters of that system. But what say you? How do you feel about that? Do you think that lack really exists? Do you believe the narratives that are pushed? Or do you understand that the illusion of lack is created, and how that illusion of lack can control you and the world around you, and not in a positive way? I'm curious. As always, if you enjoy this content, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm truly grateful. And until I talk to you again, peace, love, light. Hope you have the most amazing day.